Hey, welcome everybody to episode 35 of Mirrorless Minutes, and tonight is totally going to be one of the coolest. We've got Chris Smith back, and for those who don't know who Chris is the brain behind the Out of Chicago conference and another conference that he's going to mention a little bit towards the end of the show as well. That's, I think, probably going to be just as exciting as Out of Chicago. So without further ado, hey, welcome back, Chris.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show again.
Awesome
Great
to have you back.
Great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. I haven't seen you since the last summer, I don't think, have we?
Really?
Right, yeah.
No.
We're doing this every 6 months we get together kind of thing, I
Right.
suppose.
That's the best way to do it sometimes.
Yeah. It helps between the busyness of all our schedules because you got three guys on here that are doing a lot more than photography in their lives.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all of us have real jobs, and it looks like we're all killing it right now with photography, right? I mean, you guys are doing awesome.
Staying busy, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And part of that staying busy is working with you on this upcoming conference that you've got this summer in June in Chicago, Out of Chicago. For those who aren't familiar with it, do you want to just kind of talk a little bit about what it is?
I could talk all day, for sure. No problem. So this is the third year of us doing the Out of Chicago conference, and it started small. It was one day, and then last year we did 2 days, and we did a day of pre-conference workshops as well, and a bunch of those sold out, so we did 2 days. We had an extra day, so we had 4 days total, and this year we said, let's just start out with 4 days. So we got 2 days of pre-conference workshops. It's June 23rd and 24th, and then 2 full days, and the Friday night intro beforehand, so 2.5 days of the actual conference, and so that's the 25th and the 26th. And we got you guys doing a workshop. We got you guys doing all sorts of photo walks and classes, and you guys will be there representing Olympus, and that's going to be awesome. They're going to be there with a booth. They're one of our platinum sponsors. And yeah, I mean, I could talk forever. We got like 40 speakers. We have, we could talk about all the new things that we're doing this year. Where do you want to begin?
Okay, so you started off with 40 speakers. Some of those people.
Everyone. Hold on one second here.
if you want to
maybe refer to your show that you did.
Yeah, keep a little bit of mystery and have to draw people into the site, so we won't necessarily have to mention all 40. People should go to the summer.outofchicago.com website to see all of them, but you could probably mention a few of the more well-known names maybe that are going to be there this year.
Sure. So, of course, Jamie and Mike, number one. But, yeah, we got doing the keynote. We got Rick Salmon coming back again this year. Brian Peterson. If you don't know him from Understanding Exposure, he's amazing. Scott Bourne is going to be there. I think he's the most followed photographer on Twitter. Of course, Matt Kluskowski is his first year coming. He's going to be amazing. You know, you probably know him from teaching with Scott Kelby and all those guys, but he's with On One now. He's going to be great. Frederick Van Johnson. One of my favorite HDR guys, Jimmy McIntyre, Valerie Jardin, or however you say her name, Tim Wallace from the UK, Marie Legnaud from the UK, Jim Harmer, the great podcaster, Mike Motes, all sorts of other people. So those are kind of our headliners. Oh, and Derek Story, right?
Yeah.
So we got a ton of people that are going to be there, and a lot of great shooters that do all sorts of different things. A lot of those people are street photographers, but a lot of them do architecture. A lot of them shoot like landscape / cityscape stuff, and it's like a little bit of everything. And so it's really a lot of fun.
Well, tell me, Chris, about that. Who's the guy that's coming? Is that Wallace that's doing the car, that does the cars?
Yeah.
I mean, that's different than you had.
We saw Tim Wallace at Photoshop World. He was teaching at Photoshop World this last year, and Melinda from our team, she went and talked to him and said, we'd love to just talk to you about coming out of Chicago. And he's like, oh my God, I would love to come. I would absolutely. And he's over in the UK, so we're bringing him in to do that. And yeah, he shoots all car photography. That's like all he does. But he's known for shooting cars, and he's known for his business classes that he does. So he's got a special workshop just on business that he's doing. Plus, we're going to do a live shoot where everyone's going to bring cameras. He's going to have lights. We're going to have an awesome car, and he's going to be shooting it, teaching how he does it, and everyone gets a chance to shoot it too. So this guy is just amazing. You've probably seen him on like Kelby training and stuff, and he's amazing. He's considered. He won like the UK car photographer automobile photographer of the year or whatever. He really is amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see, because I'm interested in talking to him. He may actually have done some work for the Real Job company that we have businesses in the UK all dealing with cars.
Yeah,
So,
I never thought of that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to talk to him. And
that's
a great thing, because a lot of people, a lot of meetups out here in Detroit are always doing car type shoots and that, and to have an expert. How great to have an expert right there coming from the UK in your local Midwestern area.
Yeah, just Google Tim Wallace.
I did that earlier.
Tim Wallace photography, and just some of the images will blow you away. And you'll see all the teaching he does online too. I mean, this guy he's really considered not just the best automobile photographer, but the best teacher as far as it goes too.
I think that's pretty exciting, because that's not exactly something you would expect at a conference like this. It's somebody who shoots like high-end automotive. I mean, that's for me, kind of a gearhead kind of guy. That's pretty exciting to get the opportunity to learn how to shoot like he does in that type of a setup from somebody who's a master at it like him. So. Totally cool.
It's interesting, because I think some of the people that sign up for his stuff are like, we got people coming from all over the country to go to his thing, and they're like, you know what, I need to learn this because I want to shoot that. But then we got other people that are just like, wouldn't that be awesome to just do that for a day and then maybe shoot my own car for fun? They're not trying to make a living out of it, but how much fun is it just to do it for a day or two,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And it's, in these conferences, I was talking to someone the other day, it's a time to stretch yourself, get out of your comfort zone. If you're doing street all the time, pick up something like that. That's a great way to do it.
Right, yeah, and so we have people all over the board, and people that are street photographers. Last year they took like Mike Boat's macro classes and shooting flowers, and they're like, I never thought I'd be interested in that, and that's going to be my next project, and they're totally into it.
Right.
And the thing I didn't mention off the bat about the conference, and I almost sometimes wonder if it shouldn't be called a conference, because people think you're always just sitting in a class and then you go to another one, but we are right in the heart of Chicago. You're going straight out onto the street, and you're walking to Millennium Park. You're walking to to the lake. It's right there. So people are going out and shooting all the time too. When you sign up, it's like, would you like to take this class, or this one, or would you like to go on this photo walk, where this photo walk, where this photo walk? You could fill your whole day just with walks.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like maybe the out of Chicago experience.
Yeah, and
exactly. It's everything's an experience.
Yeah, that's actually like our tagline, the Chicago Photo Experience. So we'll just make it that. That's the name of the thing. I like that.
Exactly.
So aside from this incredible roster of people that are going to be teaching and interacting with, and let me just mention the interacting with part too, because that's something I tell everybody, is that this isn't like you're going and you're segregated away from these super talented people, that they're up on a stage and you can't talk to them. I mean, I saw people last year right up with, getting to take pictures with and just hang out with and interact with, like on a one-on-one basis, all of the people that are teaching and instructing there. So that's just an incredible experience in and of itself right there. But to move on to another part of this, so we talked about who we've got coming there, an incredible list of people. You've got some new things that you've added since last year that are really interesting, I think, that people would probably want to learn about.
Yeah. We have 3 new things, and Melinda, she told me not to say that they could bomb, but they could bomb. Who knows? We're trying 3 brand new things. I think they're going to be amazing. But so the first one I'll mention is what I'm calling a photo crawl. It might be the wrong name for it, but everyone gets the idea of what a pub crawl is that you move from one to another to another. Well, it's the same idea, and rather than just doing photo walks where you stick with your group and you go to 1 or 2 places, on Friday night, after Rick Salmon gives the keynote, we're going to position photographers at different places around the city. I'm thinking if you guys could be like at the Chicago Theater, you guys are awesome at shooting that, and people would love to get that same type of shot. How you guys do that with the live composite and everything. So you send, so we'll make a map and it'll have everyone on it, and they'll be like, oh, Jamie and Mike are going to be there. I'm going to stop by there, but on my, on the way, I'm going to hit this. Valerie's going to be on the corner shooting this, and then we'll go around the corner and go over to Millennium Park. And really, the idea is kind of like you said, you get to see people too. Maybe it's not the night that you get the best shots of your whole life, but you met like 7 of your photography heroes along the way. That's the idea. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I don't see that bombing actually.
No, neither do I.
I thought
think
that
it's
was
cool.
I know, but I'm sure you know. I know what you're saying.
I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be really cool.
I really do. I think that's just a great idea, because it's not that you're going to get one class from one person, you know, and if you want to end up hanging there a little bit longer, you hang. If you don't, you move on, and you go pick up someone else. I think that's a great idea. I'm looking forward to doing that. I really am. I'm looking forward to being out there talking to people, because some of those people might not have been able to get into one of your classes or whatever. That's a good time to speak with them.
Right. So, and that's my goal. I mean, overall, is to make it fun for the attendees, but make it fun for the instructors as well. I hope that they enjoy it just as much. So.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're doing panel discussions, and those are going to be kind of cool, I think. So we've got one panel discussion just on like mirrorless cameras, perfect, mirrorless minutes. We've got one on shooting HDR and advanced processing. We've got one on architecture, one on street photography, and Frederick Van Johnson's even doing a live This Week in Photography show as one of the things. So like everyone will come to it, and they're recording it, and that's what's going to end up being the show for that week in photography, This Week in Photography. But yeah, that's going to be pretty cool too, the panel discussions. I think one thing that was kind of missing, you guys said that like all these people get to interact with their favorite photographers, but the one thing that we didn't have so much of was necessarily all the photographers interacting with each other, and especially in front of people, because how cool is that going to be to ask some questions to like Valerie and Derek Story and all these street photographers and say, well, what do you think? And they back and forth on it. So I'm really excited about that too.
Yeah. So I wondered if you were doing that because of the election year, and you were going to like have debates. You know, I thought maybe you're going to have some moderators. And
we will have moderators. Yes.
We will have somebody standing in as Trump or something on each one.
You're poking fun at my hair already.
Yeah. I say that if you wanted to get that kind of comedy, you go to the Second City when you're in Chicago. Yeah, I think that's what you ought to do.
But no, I do think that there will be an interesting piece, just because you're each going to have ideas and everyone's going to learn. It is like going to a good workshop, and especially when you get those guys all focused. Like I know we're going to be on that the mirrorless one. I'm excited. That's actually probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most personally. Is that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
fun
really
with that.
Yeah, we haven't figured it out 100%, but I'm thinking that what's going to happen is that anyone that signed up for that class now, as we get closer, we'll send out an email to them and say, hey, what questions do you have? And let people put in their own questions. The moderator's going to get to go through them, get the ones that are going to make for the best discussion, and it really should be pretty well organized. So I think people are really going to enjoy it. The third thing is the one-on-one sessions.
Yes.
One-on-one sessions. This is, oh man, sometimes I just try and explain what happened like inside of my head. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but you know, a really popular thing is for people to do at these conferences to do like critique sessions, right? You sit down, you bring your portfolio, you bring your iPad, and you go through the images. And if that's what you want to do, great. But maybe someone just wants to go out and shoot for, you know, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, whatever. Go shoot with whoever it is out on the streets. Or maybe you just want to sit down and ask them questions about like how they run their business. So we're offering, most of the photographers are offering an opportunity to go sign up and get a one-on-one session with them. And you get them like for that entire time, and go do, you guys work it out. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? And do whatever it is. So I think people are pretty excited about that too.
Yeah, when I saw that, I thought, you know, that's an excellent opportunity for people who attend events like this that aren't necessarily really outgoing. There's always somebody in a group that's a little afraid to kind of raise their hand and ask questions, and this is an excellent opportunity for somebody who doesn't have that comfort level to still be able to get that in-depth information and discussion and education from whoever it is that they're interested in shooting with. Very cool idea.
Yeah, I think it'll be lots of fun, and there are still some, you know, a lot of the sessions available for people if they're interested to go and sign up. So, yeah, that should be really cool. Very cool. All right, what else? What else do you want to know?
Okay, so we still have like 16 minutes left because as excited as we are about this, I notice we start talking fast and we get really into it, and then we kind of burn through topics really quick.
You want me to keep talking about the conference? I have no problem. Let's see. What is that? Are we trying to stretch for time? I got no problem with that.
Oh, no, I didn't want. I wasn't sure how much you wanted to go into the next big conference that you've got going this year. Do you have 15 minutes worth of talking about that yet?
No, definitely I don't. But you know what? Let's bring it up right now, and that is people are like, what are they talking about? So let me say this. I'll start from the beginning. This year, this is the third year we've done the Chicago one in the summer, and it's been great, and it's growing every year. And if you're interested in going, you should go sign up. I think we have, the place is not big, right? We have room for maybe 300, 350 people. We're going to cap it at 350, and we're at about 320 right now.
It's going to be full.
It's just about sold out. So if you're interested in coming, you want to sign up soon. But this year we decided we're going to do 4 conferences total. I don't know what I was thinking. So we actually have one February 20th, so in just a couple of weeks. It's meant for locals. It's a one-day thing, but if you want to come in, if you're from out of town, come in. It's going to be a lot of fun. We actually just signed on Adam Jones. He's a Canon Explorer of Light, and he shoots wildlife and amazing landscapes. So he's going to be there, and we got a whole bunch of the best photographers from the Chicago area all teaching there. So it's February 20th. The next one, crazy, in April we're doing all portraits, all portrait photography. We've got Lindsay Adler. You know Lindsay Adler, right?
Yeah,
Lindsay Adler's coming, so she's going to be great. We also have Jen Rosenbaum and Nick Page, Tom Rouse, and like 18 people, and we're doing all portraits, whether it's weddings or family or conceptual type stuff. All that. It's April 8th is the kickoff, and then April 9th, and then there's some full-day workshops on April 10th. June 23rd through the 26th is a summer one, but then the one you keep mentioning that we haven't said is that we're going to try something crazy, and if anything's going to bomb, this is going to be it. And I really hope that it doesn't, because it's going to be the best thing we put on that we've ever put on. And we're calling it's run by Out of Chicago, but we are calling it Out of New York, and we're going to New York City. So we are going to New York City. It's going to be October 14th and 15th, and then on the 16th and 17th, you go all-day workshops shooting all around New York, and you spend the entire day doing that. So it's 2 days of classes, and then once you've learned all that stuff, you go out and shoot all day in New York on those other 2 days. And we got great people. We got Rick Salmon, Brian Peterson coming back. We have Jim Harmer, Frederick Van Johnson, but we got New York people like Steve Simon. He's well known for street photography there. Valerie's coming to New York. All these people are going to be there, and we are going to put together the best experience. If you're interested in going to one of the best places for street photography, architectural photography, this is going to be it. We've got our venue. It's right in the heart of Manhattan. It's in Midtown Manhattan. It's at 35th and 5th Avenue, and it's like you walk out the door and you're like, oh, it's the Empire State Building. That's kind of cool. It's right there. So same idea. Take your classes and then go out on the streets with all these photographers. It's going to be super exciting. So
that's going to be, and it departs a little bit from where you take classes for a couple days. Is that what you're saying? And then go on these long photo walks or day, right? It's a little different than Chicago.
Well, it's the same in that on the first 2 days you can choose between doing a photo walk for like 90 minutes or taking a class. But rather than doing pre-conference workshops, we're going to do the workshops afterward. And the point to that is that if you want to say go on Valerie's all-day thing shooting all around New York, or whoever it is shooting, Steve Simon, all around New York for a full day, well, on those first 2 days of the conference, take their class on street photography, and then those days after, now go shoot with them now that you've got those new ideas. So it's going to be amazing. I don't know what else to say. It's going to be the best thing we've ever done. I'm super excited about it. We got more surprises coming up for it. I can't announce them all right now, but yeah, that's going to be the best thing we've done. And I don't know, book some hotels.
I know Jamie and I got some time together to spend in New York this last year, and I was there actually twice within 3 weeks, and man. Chicago is fantastic to do stuff in, but New York, it's another world.
It is. It's a whole
it
other
absolutely
level.
Never ever stops. I mean, there's never a moment that we were in. I was in the middle of a protest, photographing a protest. I turned around in Times Square and I was in the middle of a rock video. I mean, it was just what the heck is going on?
Right.
And in between that, 50 other things were happening. So it was just a blast. So yeah, if you can swing to get to New York, I think it'd be worth your fall time to get down there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
And that time of year in New York is going to be great too. Anyways, the weather's great there, so.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
Yeah,
weather
we're
should still be
thinking
nice.
about it. We're like, okay, so Chicago's wonderful. We love it. What could be better than Chicago? We're like out of, I don't know, Minneapolis. Okay, that's kind of out of Nashville. Oh, okay, it's got to be New York. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
it. So we're just upping our game. And yeah, so Olympus is going to be there with us for that one as well. And we got other sponsors on board. And yeah, we should have a pretty good expo for that one as well. We didn't mention that for the Chicago one, but that's one of the coolest parts is the whole expo area. And Olympus and other companies will be there. They'll have all their cameras. They'll have all the lenses, and you can go and borrow them. And I thought that they were going to let you like walk around the expo and take pictures. They let you out on the streets
Right.
and all over the place. So
Right.
that was pretty fabulous. People just love that. People keep commenting to me now. They're like, "Oh man, yeah, I tried that," and then they ended up buying it. Of course they did, eventually. So yeah, I mean you get out there in that situation with these photographers, you get those great pictures, and you're like, man, I just can't go back to what I was using before. So
Yeah, I agree. That was a lively area too. It kept getting more lively, and I think people started to see where it was.
Yeah.
I think it was in that room, and then all of a sudden you start to say, "Oh, geez, look what's going on in here."
Yeah,
Right,
it's like word got out. Hey,
Yeah.
they're letting people borrow gear. And the next thing you know, there's a line forming.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. And
Definitely one of the cool sides of it.
Yeah, and I mean, Canon will be there, and Fuji. Like I said, Olympus is like our platinum sponsor, but all these other ones, I believe Sony will be there as well. So if you want to try all sorts of different mirrorless cameras, they're all going to be there.
Yeah.
And Panasonic, right? I can't believe all those guys. So should be good. Should be really good.
And that's the one thing. I mean, I wouldn't say this is a conference or an experience that's just for mirrorless, but I will tell you, there's a lot of people shooting mirrorless at this convention here.
Yeah.
I felt like it last year. I mean, but it was still for everybody. But I can tell you, at least from the street shooting side, it felt very nimble. We'll call it.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody attending would feel out of place, regardless of what type of gear they had.
Yeah.
I mean, one of your speakers, at last year's conference, I mean, he was super well known for Instagram, so I'm sure that there were people that were in attendance there that pretty much probably shoot with phones.
Right.
So, I mean, this is definitely for everyone to come to.
Yeah, I think the main difference, not just that it's for everybody, is that a lot of these things, like say it's WPPI or something, like the main focus of that is like how do you build your business, how do you build your brand, and how do you take pictures that maybe you don't love but that your clients are going to love, and it's for pros, and I think that's really important. But that's not necessarily what we are. We do have some cool business things, especially if you want to just like add on to what you're doing. But this is for people that are passionate about photography, that love doing it. Maybe they're like the three of us. They have another job, but they love photography. So,
and I think that speaks to, and I mean, and I didn't have it down to I didn't have a section that says blow our own horn here, but I know that Jamie and I have got a lot of people to sign up to come to out of Chicago. And that says a lot about it. We're just those kind of people.
Right. I should have said that. I should have said that for you. That, of everyone that's been promoting this thing, between the two of you guys, I mean, we have more people coming from the Mirrorless Minutes and from the two of you than any of these other people out there. So I can't thank you guys enough. It's been awesome. You guys have an amazing community. When you guys first started, I was like, this is cool. It's going to be kind of fun. And it just keeps growing and growing and getting bigger and better. I love it.
We're bringing our army, Chris. We're bringing our army.
The army.
Please. I love it.
Army.
Oh, that's great.
That's good. That's good.
We're coming up to the head of the half hour here, and I know that there are a few other workshops that are going on, and I don't want to take any thunder away from the Out of Chicago and Out of New York conferences, but I know Mike's got a little bit.
Yeah, I just real quick with Jamie and I doing our Philly one this year. If you're still listening, we've got a couple seats left open in that thing. We want to try to get that one full because it is going to be a lot of fun. We've got people right now coming from 5 different states already. So fantastic. Looking forward to it. It's not just a bunch of Michigan people heading to Philly, and which is really interesting. And the other thing that I was just talking with Derek Story, I'm doing a workshop with him in San Francisco in April. And he just opened up another seat on that because it was sold out, street shooting in San Francisco. But another seat opened up and he was able to secure. And we've got a handful of the new Pen F. The Olympus Pen F is going to be there, so everybody can try them and walk through the streets. I know Low Pro is going to be sponsoring and giving everyone bags. So check it out. Just email Derek. Don't, you can email me too, I guess, if you want. But it's Derek at thedigitalstory.com, and he'll take care of you. But one slot open, and that filled up really quick. San Francisco is fantastic, and I'm sure we need to see an out of San Francisco.
There you go.
Look at him now. Chris, well, let's get through New York first, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. But believe me, we're thinking about it. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure your global ambitions will take this out of the country at some point, and I hope to be involved with that.
We need to do an Urbex one in Chernobyl.
There you go. Out of Pripyat. Yep, I'll go.
I'm not doing that one.
All right.
So, and then I guess one more workshop to mention is one that I'm doing with fellow trailblazer Alex McClure. That's going to be in Arizona, May 6th through the 9th.
Yes, that's awesome. I was hearing
astrophotography. I'm excited about that. I love to shoot night photography, stars, Milky Way, aurora, things like that. But here in Michigan, it's tough. We live in one of the most light polluted areas of the country. Anything east of the Mississippi is basically a bust.
I went to that dark sky park. Have you guys done that one up by Mackinac?
No, is that good?
That was awesome. Yeah. There's maybe like 20 of them in the world, and one of them's right there, right by Mackinac, just west of the bridge. And
you did this when you were living in Chicago or Michigan?
I just did it last summer. Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the family took a trip to Mackinac Island, so I'm like, well, I'm hitting the dark sky park then. Here I go. Yeah.
So for people that are interested in that kind of photography, there'll be links to everything we've discussed tonight. All of the Out of Chicago. I still have to get information from Chris on Out of New York to put up there.
Where'd you say that one was that you're doing with Alex?
So that's going to be in May. It's May 6th through the 9th. That's in Arizona. We're going to be heading up into the mountains in Arizona outside of Phoenix, near Flagstaff, I think, is where we're headed.
It's 8,000 feet, isn't it?
We'll be at 8,000 feet, and we've got this Nordic Center reserved, so we've got cabins and yurts. Actually, I think all the cabins are taken already, so if you don't mind a yurt, you're going to yurt it for a couple of nights. So, astrophotography at night, Alex and I will kind of be coaching you on that and how to do long exposures, how to locate and shoot the Milky Way, things like that. And then day trips to Grand Canyon and Sedona.
What lens do you use for that when you're shooting the Milky Way and that?
Oh, man. So I'm probably going to spend a lot of time with the 8mm f1.8 because it's going to be a beast at gathering light. But also the 7-14 as well. And the just because I want to get as much sky as I can in a single shot. Also the 12mm f2, again, another great light gathering.
Right, that's right.
So primarily those three at night. Then during the day, who knows? I don't know what Alex is going to take us to shoot.
Yeah, but for the Milky Way, you got to have a fast lens. That's perfect.
Yep. So I guess that's probably about everything for tonight. Again, huge thanks, Chris, for having Mike and I back again this year and for taking the time to come on the show and talk about it. Your excitement gets me excited, and I'm going to have a hard time going downstairs and winding down for the night. I'm going to be all amped up. So.
Yeah, well, drink some coffee, too.
Yeah, right. My wife will love that. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So, again, thanks for coming on, and just like I said earlier, links to everything we discussed will be in the show description after the show airs. So.
And for us, if you just go to outofchicago.com, we've got links to all the different things we're doing for sure.
Well, Chris makes it even easier, so there you go. I'll just have to provide one link, and we're set.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
All right, cool. So, again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for coming on, Chris, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, take it easy.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.